Dear friends and followers, welcome to Learn DIY Electronics. In this video, I will show you how I successfully repaired a broken microwave oven. So by watching until the end of this video, you're going to learn how to test a microwave magnetron, high voltage diode and high voltage capacitor. As you can see now, the water is not heating. So let's start troubleshooting. But first, do make sure the oven is unplugged from the mains electrical power outlet. To remove all the screws, you will need a Phillips screwdriver. After removing all the screws, you can now lift and carefully remove the microwave oven's cover. Wipe the dust using a damp cloth or wipes. This is the microwave's magnetron. It is the main part that emits microwave frequency that heats food that has water content. During operation, the magnetron's heat sink is cooled by a cooling fan. This is the high voltage capacitor and high voltage transformer. The main circuitry is designed to be activated when the door of microwave oven is closed, and deactivate when open. The door's push to open mechanism is coupled to some switches so that the system knows if the door is open or closed. That way, we can ensure the magnetron will have no way to be energized if the door is open. This is the timer controller circuit and flex ribbon for capacitive touch switches. This is the light of the oven. You can see this lit when microwave oven is active or when you open the door. This is the main fuse of the oven. Also, there is a thermal switch here that is connected to the waveguide of magnetron. If for some reason the temperature gets high inside the waveguide, it will automatically cut the electric supply from the transformer to avoid magnetron damage. Take a photo of the connections and wirings so that you can undo everything in case you messed up. Before touching any wires or electronic components, make sure to discharge first the high voltage capacitor. You can do this by connecting a soldering iron plug to capacitor's terminals, or you can short the terminals using a resistive load like a halogen bulb. Get a multimeter and set it to continuity mode, then test the thermal switch. You should hear a beeping sound and get a very low resistance reading. This indicates a good thermal switch. Do this test to line fuse as well. Disconnect the high voltage capacitor terminals and test it using a multimeter that is set to 2 megaohms range. You should not get any resistance reading when you probing the capacitor metal case and terminals. Probe the terminals only. You should get a value and should quickly disappear because the capacitor is now charged. This effect is true even if you reverse the multimeter's test probe. Now, let's proceed to the magnetron. You should get a very low resistance reading when testing the terminals regardless of the multimeter's test probe polarity. Like the high voltage capacitor, probing the magnetron terminals and body or heatsink should not give any resistance reading. But in our magnetron unit's case we are getting a resistance reading. This means this is the culprit or source of the problem why the oven is not giving frequency output. Now that we have a findings, it is still best to not skip the resistance check of the high voltage transformer. Remove the transformer primary winding terminals, then probe it, check if it's shorted or grounded. Do the same to the secondary winding as well. Microwave transformer rarely get damaged, thanks to the protective line fuse. For this video tutorial, we are going to isolate from the circuit and unmount the microwave oven's magnetron, high voltage diode and capacitor so that we can further test it.
Wow, I see that.
I will give you an egg.